Recently, firefighters reported multiple deaths where clutter made it harder for people to make it to safety in time. And as a former ER nurse, this is something I have seen in a different way. And the hard part is most of those homes didn't look that bad. This isn't just about extreme situations. Fire departments regularly talk about clutter because it slows both escape and rescue. So, when you work in emergency care, you start to notice patterns. For example, in the fall, maybe November-ish, I would notice a lot of people coming with falls from putting up Christmas lights. Meanwhile, in the spring, I would notice people having falls because they were pruning their trees. But not just injuries, we would notice what led to them. And that clutter shows up more often than people realize. Not in an obvious way, and not in a this house is about to collapse kind of way. In a very normal home, people who love bread just like you and me and are actually watching the 50th season of Survivor are at risk. And this isn't just about having a messy house. This is about what happens when something goes wrong. And if you think about it, we have mistakes that, like, I will knock my tea over in my bedroom all over my carpet because I'm just not paying attention. But when things are fast, unexpected, and you don't have time to think, that's where crazy bad things can even get worse. Police learn about this thing called tunnel vision. Now, I used to be a police dispatcher too. I've had quite the life. But when they're in a pursuit or certain other situations, there's like tunnel vision where it's like there's not things going on. They don't notice stuff going around. And it's the same in your house in an emergency. Your vision comes in and it makes everything else hard to see. In an emergency, we don't move through your home the same way. You're not calm. You're not thinking clearly. You are moving fast. And suddenly, that basket of laundry that is piled by the door, that box you meant to deal with later, it's in the way. And seconds matter. And clutter snatches those seconds away. In a fire, you can have as little as 2 to 3 minutes to get out safely. Now, are you even wearing your glasses that you need to put on? Maybe you were hit in the head with something and there's blood in your eyes. Now, I'm sorry, the ER nurse in me makes it hard to know what is acceptable to say. My filter is a little bit messed up. So let me know, is this too much? Tell me down below. You're also maybe not walking your normal path. You're reaching, you're turning, you're grabbing, you're trying to just move quickly. And you know that one thing that you step around instead of moving? That's the thing that catches you when you're not thinking. A lot of injuries don't come from big dramatic events. They come from super normal moments. Just getting up in the middle of the night, maybe blurry-eyed, maybe you're carrying something like water or something. So it's harder to catch yourself if you go to fall. You're trying not to turn on the light. You're maybe like trying to keep your eyes closed so you like go back to sleep more quickly. And all it takes is one thing in the wrong place, because normally you know the layout of your home so well. But a fall doesn't need chaos. It just needs one obstacle. And falls are one of the most common reasons people end up in the hospital. And a lot of the time they happen at home, especially on stairs, in hallways, or when something is left where it doesn't belong. My aunt this past summer was carrying a watermelon out of a grocery store, so maybe obscured where exactly what was happening with her feet. Plus, she couldn't catch herself and she walked into a basket that was on the ground. So you need to trust yourself in your own home, and that is often when we're paying attention the least. Now, clutter doesn't just slow your body, it slows your thinking. Where is it? Should I grab this? I'll just move this thing first. Those tiny hesitations, they actually add up. And girl, stuff is in the way and it is just confusing the matter, especially when you don't have time to hesitate. You're making decisions you were not planning on. And in an emergency, every few seconds of hesitation can change how things play out. Believe me, from both of my past emergency services jobs, I can tell you seconds matter a lot. And this part is often overlooked. It's not just about you getting out, it's also about others being able to get in. First responders who have never been there before, they need space to move. They need doors to open fully. Pathways need to be clear. Clutter makes everything harder. And if time is of the essence, like maybe you have fallen and you've hit your head and you're bleeding, or maybe you have had a heart attack. Even a partially blocked doorway or a narrowed hallway can slow things down so much more than you would expect. Like, how will they get you out of there? And it's not the time that you want someone to try to navigate around your organized chaos. Seconds matter. And here's the part that matters the most. Clutter is the result of keeping too many things. That's just what it is. It is simple. And they are things that we don't and can't use on top of a few things that we do use. So most people, they don't keep things because they're careless. They're keeping them because they want to feel prepared. Like, I understand that. I used to be just like that. I wanted every kitchen gadget just in case I wanted to make some kind of fancy thing one day. They want extra supplies. They want backups. They want things just in case. It feels responsible and safe. But there's a point where it starts doing the opposite. Think of it this way. I live on Vancouver Island, and I always talk about this. There's like the threat of a big one. Like, I really hope it's not today. I'll tell you that right now. But we need to be prepared. And I was not for the longest time. I actually felt really stressed about it. So I did start getting prepared with food and with water and with medications and stuff. We think more stuff makes us safer, but in an emergency, it often doesn't. Clutter does not feel dangerous until it suddenly is. And a lot of the risk, it doesn't come from long-term clutter. It comes from the in-between stages, which is just so common. Or you put something down temporarily, maybe you're donating things, you're waiting for them to be taken away, but they're blocking the doorway. And even partially is a problem. Sometimes we're stuck in indecision for far too long. So we end up just stopping and we're like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna leave it that way. That stuff could be in your doorway, near the stairs, or even in your garage in the way. A pile of stuff that you just haven't had time to deal with. And you've got to decide if you're keeping it, where it'll go, but it stays stuck in your way and it's just messing you up. And the thing about accidents is they are unexpected. No one plans for their house to go up in flames. No one plans on an earthquake or a fall or a heart attack. They don't happen when everything is calm and convenient. Believe me, this is something I saw a lot. Lives changed in the blink of an eye. The worst is when things were preventable. And that's the part that stays with you. What ifs come into play. Now, the great news is that you don't need a perfectly tidy and clean home. Trust me, this is easy. You just need a functional one that won't cause you to tumble down the stairs while you're carrying your laundry, or that blocks you from reaching out when you're falling. One that lets you move quickly without thinking. And if you do nothing else, just start here. Clear one main pathway today and one tomorrow. And I know probably don't have like piles all over the place, but I'm just saying, make sure your exits are clear. Remove one thing that you could trip over or move around often. Just work on that stuff. And I know there are a lot of you out there who are just like, oh, I've got these boxes all over the place. Just work on it. That's it. Start there. Not everything at once. Do not do everything at once. Just enough to make your home safer. Girl, I'm never about fear on this channel. It's about making your home work for you. It's about helping people to make changes so life is so awesome and so much better. Not just on the good days, but on the day you need it the most. Your home doesn't need to impress anyone. It just needs to support you. And there's a story about a pair of brothers who actually did have mountains of stuff and they died because of the clutter in their home. It was preventable and you need to see it right here. I hope something great happens for you today. Please like and subscribe. Stay tidy and mighty. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.